Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I literally had to jump on and I recorded this just as I recorded the other one, and then I uploaded it because literally as I did it, the news come through that Harry is the only one that is coming to the coronation. So I know so many of you have said, can't wait to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. So I thought, well, do you know what? I'm going to jump on while it's fresh and I'm going to do the video. Hence why, again, in my third video, I look like I'm wearing the same top. I am, but I've literally recorded this video on the same day. I just need you to know that. I'm not really disgusting, and I'm just wearing the same top consistently. So that being said, you should know what to do by now. Grab your drink of choice, whether it be tea, whether it be coffee, whether it be water, because your body is a temple, and you are trying to perhaps detox for the summer. Whether you are like me and you are loving the cherries and berries, because so many of you asked me about this. I love it that you are all enjoying this drink. It is on my community page for those of you who are interested in it and where to get it. Or maybe you'd like to add a little something to your drink of choice, because as the flag says behind me, which again you can't see because of my camera angle, it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So let's grab that drink and dive right in. So, Harry is attending the coronation. I mean, not being funny, that RSVP, better late than never. However, so yes, it turns out that Meghan is not coming. Now, am I surprised at this? No. Did I anticipate the fact that she was not going to be coming? Yes. Did I think that Harry was going to come? Potentially, yes. I absolutely believed they were not going to be coming together. And I've said before, they are not together romantically. And I know that so many of you are believing and kind of, in a sense, are agreeing with me. And then some of you are kind of like, no, he's very much in love with her. This is toxic love. You have to remember that. This is not healthy love. So even if he might still have feelings for her, they will be mainly in lust. It will be sexually, because he doesn't understand healthy love. So these two are very toxic together. So the only time they would potentially come together is if they're aligning in their ideas, in a sense of attacking the monarchy or other people, or because it suits them financially. They have to put together a united front to make it seem like they're together. That's why we only ever see them every now and again out and about together. But they never look really happy. If there's some kind of, I don't know, a previous arrangement, they go together. But this is the coronation. So it is not surprising to me that she did not want to come. And of course, we're going to get the victim spiel. We're going to get I felt it was best not to come because it's Archie's birthday. So as a mother, I felt that it was better that I stay behind to focus on my child. So we're going to get something either along those lines, or we're going to get the fact that she feels that the British people just dislike her, even though when they did the walkabout, nobody really heckled her. I think there was one woman who chose, I think there was some woman actually ignored her. But other than that, the British people, that's the one thing that I will say, that out of respect for a situation, we may not like her, and for the most part we don't. However, because it was to do with the Queen's funeral, we are respectful, because it's not about her or him. It is about the fact that the late Queen had passed away. So it's kind of a respect for the family. So a lot of the time we will put our feelings to one side because we know that it's to be respectful for the situation. I am pretty sure, oh, sorry, a bit of lip gloss there. I am pretty sure that most people didn't want her there. And I don't think she wanted to be there, because you could literally see her body language. She was like a rabbit caught in the headlights. She did not want to be there. She did not want to be near William and Catherine, which is why she hung on to Harry like a limpet, a barnacle as I call it. So there was no way that she was going to turn up to something as big as the coronation, purely and simply because she did not get the demands that she wanted, or allegedly, let's just say. So apparently they wanted to be on the balcony, they wanted to do all of these things, and they have said, no, you're not. You want to come, you want to be part of it, that's absolutely great, but you're not going to be included in all this. You're not a working royal. You're not going to get all this fanfare. Not after what you've done. So then you have the fact that apparently Harry is now coming, but apparently he is just, so we've heard, coming for the coronation bit, and then he's leaving. Are we surprised at that? No, because again, it's very cowardly. Like when he come for the court case, you know, he came thinking that his family were going to be out of the country. So he knew that he probably wouldn't be bumping into them, albeit that obviously his father and mother-in-law, their trip was cancelled that day. But, you know, he does things in a way that he doesn't want to be around them because he knows what he's done is wrong. If you were assured in everything that you were saying, you know, if you believed what you were saying was the truth, you would hold your head up high and be like, you know what? I am happy to meet you. I am happy to have this out with you. But Harry does it in a very cowardly way. He'll skulk in when he knows that they're not around, because he would also know that their calendar gets booked up well in advance. These are not people that just, oh, do you know what? I'm just going to pop over. Yeah, like what you and I would be. Oh, yeah, no, do you know, I can take the day off. I'm not working. I can see you. Their calendars are booked up well in advance. So he would know this. So he purposely does these things, like when they came over before where they ended up here when the late Queen passed away. You know, this whole situation of, you know, he couldn't even be bothered to go and see his grandmother. I believe that there were times when they were invited and they said, no. But suddenly now when they demand it, when they demand the sit downs with the king, when they demand the sit downs with the late Queen, and it's not convenient because the Queen has got duties and she's been booked up, or the king is now booked up. Oh, now they don't want to meet us because they don't want to sort things out. It's like everything is on their terms. Well, suddenly now everyone is kind of going, you know, we're sick of that. We're not doing it on your terms now. You know, you can give us all these demands, but they're not being met. We're not going to be singing happy birthday to Archie on the balcony, if that was something that we don't know. But I think this was, again, a tactical move. They knew that the palace were going to say no. But again, it creates that victim narrative. Well, we tried to make amends, but they said no. Can you blame them? Can you blame the royal family for saying no? So, of course, Harry knows in this instant that he has to do something, because it is going to look very petty with not coming to the coronation. People are going to be questioning that and saying, hang on a minute, you've come all the way over here for a court case that you didn't need to come to, but yet you cannot come to one of the biggest events of your father's life, which is his coronation, and come and support that. So I don't think for 1 second he wants to be here, but I think he knows that he kind of has to do something, because it would really create him to look terribly, more so than what it's done already. Now, this whole thing with the children, well, you know, and if you don't know, there are videos where I have given my thoughts on these children. And I truly believe that we are never going to see these children in the UK, purely and simply because I don't believe that they are hers. And so they could potentially, well, I have said before that I absolutely do believe that there is a boy. But I also think the boy is over here. I think there was, whether it was born from a surrogate, which a lot of you do believe, and that's fine, you can absolutely believe that, and the surrogate decided to keep the child, or Harry got somebody pregnant. And again, I know I've had the conversations with you where you've kind of all said, there's no way Harry would be unfaithful. There is no way Meghan would put up with someone carrying someone else's child. Yes, she would. We are dealing with a narcissist. She's not a maternal person. We have seen this. She would not care that somebody else has got Harry's child, in the sense of that would bother her, because what she would do is use that as leverage, which is what I potentially think has happened. So let's look at the argument of, say he got somebody pregnant. We've seen the rumours that have been circulating in the way he treats women, and I will bang on about that because it seems to have just been bypassed. He is misogynistic. He has no respect for women. So it is not a far stretch. You know, I did a video on the fact that he was seeing other women around the time that he was seeing Meghan, and he started dating somebody whilst he was seeing Meghan. And people have said that's not being unfaithful, that's not cheating. Well, yes, it is if the other person doesn't know about it. However, I will say that Meghan was also doing the same. So, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. So they're both as bad as each other in that instance. But if he's willing to be doing something like that, then we're also looking at the fact that we are now going past the fact that in Skip's wedding, they were not together. They then got back together, and I've done videos on that too. So if he has got somebody pregnant, there is every chance that she would think, cha-ching, this is leverage. I will then act like I'm very supportive. I will go along with this. Rather than it come out that Harry's been unfaithful to me, I will act like I'm pregnant. And if you don't think a narcissist is capable of this, please, please do more research on narcissism and how they behave. They will do anything to keep what they have got. Harry would have been her ka-ching into the Hollywood industry, which is what I believe that she wanted. I think she wanted the best of both worlds. It would be money. It would be everything. Power. In her mind, that's what she was seeking. The next level up. Harry was that for her. She was never going to give that up. Even if Harry was unfaithful to her, she would have been, I forgive you. So if Harry had, let's say for argument's sake, got somebody pregnant, and say the royal family didn't know about it, there is every chance that she would be, I'm going to support you. I will pretend I'm pregnant, so it will look like it's my child. And then when the child is born, we will kind of go through the whole thing, and then we'll just kind of, we'll take it from there. We'll wing it from there. Which is why I have said before that I believe that the royal family didn't know initially. Then they potentially found out, which was why Megxit had to happen. Because you can imagine, how could they keep a child here that is not of Meghan's DNA? Possibly Harry's, but also with the real mother. When you see royal events where they're out and about with their children, how could you there's no way you could lie. You'd have to bring the child out, and then the child would be papped, which is why we never see these children unless they are papped by their photographer. So I've said this before, and I could be wrong, and I'm okay if I'm wrong, but this is just how I believe what is happening. Because I understand body language. I have worked in this field for a very, very long time. This is why we were getting the moon bump flashes. This is why she was doing what she was doing, because what she was basically saying to the media is, you know, I know that you know, and you can't do a damn thing about it because there is an embargo. And if you don't think that this can happen, that it can, because it also came out when it was Charles and Camilla were caught seeing each other. The reporters, journalists come out and said they knew about it a long, long time before it actually come out in the media. But they couldn't write about it. There was an embargo. So I think there is another one, and I think it's to do with the children. And again, this is just my opinion. So there is no way that this is going to be exposed, because obviously then at some point the royal family would have to be in on it, because either they have got two children in the line of succession that they've never met, albeit that I do think that the baby that we saw in the beginning, and I'm not talking about the one after when they came out, and I'm talking about when we actually saw a child. There is every chance that that was potentially the real boy. Which is why, isn't it strange that when we saw him initially, there was lots of exposure with this child in the very beginning, and then suddenly nothing. Suddenly nothing. They went to America and we got nothing. Why? Because I think the child stayed here. So that's just my opinion. So of course, and then we have Lily, who I believe at this present time doesn't actually exist, which is why we're getting these Photoshop versions. People have said to me, oh, look at, I forget the name, but there's a woman that's got a child that looks very similar. And I've seen the similarity. I've shown pictures of the child that is that they're using, which is one of Meghan's friends. They're using her child. And if you think again that people are not capable of this, of course they are. The right amount of money or blackmail, or this has been going on for years. People have said about Meghan's weight gain. She's an actress. Women have been pretending to be pregnant on camera for years and years and years. They know how to gain weight quickly. They know how to lose weight quickly. This is part of the acting world. So even if she did look like she gained weight, you can easily do that. But it's more the fact that you've got to look at the way she walked, the way she handled herself, the way her bump changed shape strangely. 1 minute, huge. Then a couple of weeks later, small. A pregnancy bump doesn't do that. A pregnancy bump doesn't squash or look like a square or it wobble from side to side. It does none of that. So these children cannot come over here or be seen over here, because then there is risk of DNA being taken. And I think they know that, which is why they are always making excuses of why they can't come over here. And when they have come over here, they've done it for certain engagements where they don't bring the children. But we have to ask, at some point, this is now becoming very strange that we never see them in a natural setting. We never see them just walking around. There are more high profile people out there that are walking around with their children, Catherine and William for one, but even the Kardashians, who, whether you like them or don't, you still see them around with their children. But this is not two people that, and I know that people have said, well, they're probably waiting for the big cash cow. No, there's plenty of opportunities when they could have shown the children. They've never done a Hello magazine spread. They've never, when they did the Time magazine, why was there no pictures of the children? How have you ever known any celebrity, once they've had children, to not include their children, especially in a photo campaign, not to include their children in? She's a narcissist. We would have had what Lily and Archie eat, what they play with. There would have been toy brands, food brands, clothing brands, you name it. She would have merged those children within an inch of their life. We're not getting that. Why? Because they're not there, because they're not hers to merch. So she can't do it. Because trust me, if they were absolutely her children biologically and she had control of everything, we would be seeing them everywhere. There would be magazine spreads. There would be, like I say, there'll be clothing, food brands, toy brands, you name it. It would be all about that. We would have heard everything about her being pregnant. We would have heard everything about how she lost her baby weight. We would have learned how what maternity clothes she was wearing. We heard nothing. Nothing. A narcissist wants to be front and center. They will use anything or anyone to do that. If she's willing to use her connections to the royal family, don't think for 1 second that she wouldn't utilize her children. So this is why she's not coming over here, because it would look very odd coming to the coronation without the children, especially being that it's supposedly Archie's birthday. So one of them would have had to have stayed. And it would have looked even worse for both of them to stay behind, because they would be like, hang on a minute. So Harry can leave his children to fly over to a court case that he doesn't need to be at, but he can't visit his ailing grandmother when she was poorly. He can't visit his ailing grandfather when he was poorly. He can't come over and try and rectify things with his family, or come to the coronation, but he can come to a court case that he doesn't need to be at. No. No. So this is why. And am I pleased that she's not coming? Yes. Purely and simply because, well, I don't like her behaviour. I think that she's behaved appallingly. I don't think she deserves to be at the coronation after what she has done. In all honesty, I don't think Harry deserves to be part of it, but I respect the fact that he's Charles's son, and this is not about me, or this is about what Charles wants. In all honesty, why Charles would want him there, I'm not sure how I would feel if I had a child that did the most horrendous things the way Harry has behaved. In fact, I would possibly be saying, no, you're not coming, especially after the Taliban incident. You know, you're a risk, so no. However, maybe he's doing it tactically because maybe they want to speak to him privately. Maybe they want to do an intervention. I genuinely don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and none of us really do. And for those of you who have said, you know, why do they keep getting away with things? And I know that even sometimes I've got frustrated and said this, but when I've sat back and really thought about it, I've thought, actually, what have they got away with? What have they achieved? They work 1 hour a week. Nobody credible is interested in them. And if they are, it's possibly because they use them as well. They don't seem to have any friends. They have no family. They are ridiculed now, not just in the UK, but in the States. No one takes them seriously. Harry has fallen to one of the lowest, least liked royals. I think he's even possibly now even lower than Andrew. I'm not sure, or just above Andrew. What actually have they achieved? She does a podcast, which people have ridiculed. Nobody really takes that seriously. And actually people have come forward and even said that they didn't actually see her. They filmed their bit with the questions that were, and a lot of the time she was actually not even in the room present. So they weren't actually talking back and forth. And she's talking about doing her TIG. Before she met Harry, she was doing her TIG. She was on Suits. Now, okay, these are not, you know, world breaking, but there's something. She married a royal person. The potential that she could have had for creating monumental change was phenomenal. She had the biggest platform to create the biggest change. And she chose to do nothing with it. Albeit that her fan base will say that she did, but she hasn't. And now it's gone full circle and she's back to potentially going to do her TIG again. Wow. At the age that she is, she's just gone full circle. What has she actually achieved? Okay, she may have got a few more designer outfits, a bit of money in the bank. But what else has she got? No family, no friends. No one really takes her seriously. And like I say, the people that do align with her probably use the fact that she's connected to the royal family. She doesn't do anything off her own back. She uses her connections to the royal family. Harry doesn't do anything. He's now not liked or respected. He's fallen from grace in a sense. So what have they actually achieved? I wouldn't want their life, would you? You know, when you look at the respect that, you know, King William then. A bit premature. Prince William, Princess Catherine, King Charles, Queen Camilla, the rest of the family. Not much has really changed for them. Yes, okay, that it has affected, the stuff that's happened has affected them a little bit, but you've only got to see how much it didn't affect the Queen when you look at the Jubilee and how people turned up. There are going to be people turning up for this coronation. And, you know, whether or not she'll do something to try and take the limelight, oh, I'm sure she will. I'm sure she'll release some kind of fake photograph of one of the children or something. I'm sure she will. And if the media chose to print it, then that's on them. But it doesn't take away from this great situation that's going to be happening. And I, for one, am glad that she's not coming because, like I say, she doesn't deserve to be here. She doesn't deserve any of it. And I'm hoping that after this is settled, that he does remove those titles, because there is pressure behind the scenes. There has been mounting pressure for these titles to go. And I think the people of Sussex deserve someone better. You know, other people have royals that visit or show support to charities in that area. We have got those two clowns that do nothing. And we deserve better. The people of Sussex deserve better. So I'm hoping that King Charles will see that and he will, put that into, well, you know, get that going. And I will be one that will be here for it. So yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you have liked it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please think about doing so, because it does help the algorithm. If you want to buy me a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, the link is in the description box below, or it is also above the subscribe button. You can become a member, a Patreon. These are ways to support what I do here, because I do work with people for free behind the scenes. And as the channel grows, I hope to work with more people. And these are people who struggle financially. These are people who cannot afford therapy because they are going through really hard times. And at the moment I am full capacity. I have got a waiting list, but I am trying to get to everyone. I have hopefully a fairly quick turnaround, depending on the situation, but I am trying to get through. But I am trying to answer your emails. I am inundated, so please bear with me. If you have emailed me and I've not replied, please do it again. I'll put urgent at the top, because I will see that, and then I will go in and hopefully reply to you if you need it. If you haven't joined my other channel, it's called Just Therapy UK. That is more therapy, mental health, life coaching, tips and tools to help you navigate life. It is Harry and Meghan free. So if you want to go and join that, then please do. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, so you can go across and support me there, and I will do little things over there. Yeah, so in the meantime, have a wonderful weekend, whatever you are doing. Thank you so much also for everyone who's supporting my son and his channel. It's slowly growing, and he's going to hopefully do more and more videos. So thank you so much for all the wonderful comments that I've seen on there. It's really lovely to see that support. Yeah, so in the meantime, please just look after yourselves, stay safe, and as always, I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. So take care. Bye-bye.